India's economic architects.
Together on one powerful stage, from Nitin Gadkari to Arvind Panagaria and Montek Singh Ahluwalia, visionaries who are shaping India's future. All debating the Viksit Bharat roadmap, where legacy meets leadership. Here, the real policy playbook: finance, roads, reforms, disinvestment. Nothing is off the table. The inside views, uncensored. Only at Adani Business Today, India at 100, 8th August 2025, Shangri-La Eros, New Delhi.
The Uttarkashi flash floods have sent down chills with shocking visuals which all of us have been seeing since yesterday. Now floods have swallowed everything that came in its way, including people, homes, hotels. Massive rescue and relief operations are right now underway, and we are praying for safety of everyone who've been affected in these floods as well. But this also brings us to find out what best can we do to protect us and our loved ones against such natural calamities and nature's fury. Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, and in this special edition, we are going to be focusing on all of the key important triggers and aspects that we must consider when we want to protect ourselves against nature's fury, and that is by way of insurance as well. Joining in on this program with me to discuss more insights on the same is Mr. Ashwini Dubey. He's the business head of home insurance at Policybazaar.com. Warm welcome to you, Ashwini. Good to have you with us. Well, straight away tell us, are Indians really adequately covered or insured against natural disasters, especially in regions like Uttarkashi or the ones that are more vulnerable to natural calamities?
First of all, thank you for inviting me, Sakshi. It's indeed a very tragic event that happened in Uttarkashi a few days back. So the straight answer to your question is no. Indians are not adequately insured against natural disasters. And this is especially true for remote areas such as Uttarkashi, non-metro areas especially. Although insurance penetration throughout India, in all kinds of insurance, life insurance, health insurance, asset insurance penetration remains extremely low. And this is especially exaggerated in non-metro areas where awareness of insurance product is much lower. Hence, the coverage and protection that people have against these natural disasters is extremely low, especially in things like home insurance, where the awareness about the product, the lack of knowledge leads to very poor coverage, and people are very vulnerable in these cases. And in such events, they end up depending on government subsidies and government compensation, which may help them at the time of disaster.
Okay, but tell me, most of Indians actually rely on government-backed schemes like Pradhan, Mantri, Suraksha, Bima Yojana, Fasal Bima Yojana, Ayushman Bharat. In such disaster-like situations, do these suffice, or should one really take additional insurance in such cases as well?
So the three schemes that you mentioned, they're very different schemes. So the Suraksha Bima Yojana is a personal accident policy that pays out in case of any death or disability due to personal accidents.
Correct.
The Fasal Bima Yojana is a crop insurance policy, and the Ayushman Bharat Yojana is a health insurance policy. However, the coverage under Ayushman Bharat ends at 5 lakh rupees, right? So that may be inadequate in case of hospitalization. Plus, it also does not cover. I mean, there is no coverage for assets like homes or businesses under these policies.
Absolutely. So, Ashwini, do standard home or property insurance policies also cover such flash floods? I mean, we are looking at these shocking, visuals where most of the houses were submerged, and even hotels and, any kind of properties that came in the way were actually washed away in the floods. So, I want to understand about when people go for a home insurance or a property insurance, what does that cover?
So again, extremely shocking visuals that we saw, all of us saw a few days back. Yes, any damage due to these flash floods is covered under almost all retail home insurance policies and almost all other property insurance policies which people may buy for their businesses. So these natural calamities are generally covered. There may be a very few rare exceptions. However, in most policies, these coverages form a part of the standard coverage.
Okay. Ashwini, what insurance options can really help Uttarkashi's businesses really recover from such losses? What would you advise there?
So now that the calamity has happened, in case somebody has a property insurance for their business, so that property insurance would help them in getting claims for losses that they suffered to their business. So if they have a business operation in a premises, then any loss to the premises is covered. Any loss to the material lost due to the floods is covered. Apart from this, there are also policies such as business interruption policies, where if due to any such natural calamities, and business interruption is essentially an add-on to a basic standard fire policy or any other such policy. Any losses due to interruption of business up to a period of 6 months or 12 months, those losses can be made good by these insurance policies. The government, on their behalf, came out with two standardized package policies called the Bharat Sukshma Udyam Yojana and the Bharat Laghu Udyam Yojana. So these are standard package policies that cover all these natural disasters. And in case anybody has these policies, they will have no problems in getting claims, and it will certainly help them in getting back on their feet and getting their business back on its feet.
What are the documents that are needed for such flood-related insurance claims? Do you think there is anything additional needed apart from the regular ones?
No, not specially. I'll just mention the entire claims, the general claims process in a property insurance or home insurance, how it takes place. So generally, whenever, in case any such calamity happens, the customer is to inform the insurance company within 30 days about that so and so event has happened and their property has suffered a loss. They're supposed to inform the police or the district authority, whichever is relevant. However, in such cases where there's such a large natural calamity, that 30-day period does not generally apply. I mean, because everybody understands that people would be in very perilous situations anyways. Their personal lives might be at stake. So that 30-day period might not apply. But again, if they have those policies, they go out and they reach the insurance companies and inform them about their loss, mention their policy number. In general, after that, the insurance company would appoint a surveyor and look at the extent of the loss. Again, in such a big natural calamity, the loss is fairly established, right? Because there would be, the government would come out with notices, the National Disaster Management Authority would come out with notices. So all these general processes are taken care of by the government authorities itself, and it just becomes a little easier for somebody to get a claim. Apart from this, not many documentation would be required. The standard documents that are required, those will be the only ones that the customer will have to provide.
Okay, fair point. I also wanted to get a sense of what about the travelers, who were probably traveling to such locations, the hills. What have they to remember? If they have been affected in such a situation, does travel insurance cover?
Yes. So travel insurance covers if anybody who has been traveling to these areas in this time and they have suffered a loss, then travel insurance would cover any medical expenses like hospitalization, evacuation if somebody has to get evacuated from that place on medical grounds. All that expenses would be covered in case of under a standard travel insurance policy that they would have bought.
Okay. And can you help us understand in what cases can the claims be rejected? Are there any technical grounds like, insufficient, kind of coverage or maybe a force majeure? What exactly can, investors, buyers of insurance policies remember while taking insurance? In what cases can it turn out to be a cancellation of claim?
Right. So, talking specifically about home insurance, the policies that are being sold today, most retail policies do not have any under insurance clause. So, what is called insufficient coverage is called under insurance in insurance parlance. So, under insurance is generally waived off in almost all retail home insurance policies in India. So there is no loss to the customer or the insured. So whenever a loss occurs and the insurance company assesses that the coverage that the customer took is less than what they should have taken, then there is no damage to the customer. The customer will get the full extent, will get money to the full extent to which they bought the policy. So if they bought the policy worth 10 lakh rupees, and even if their loss is 50 lakh rupees, there is no under insurance clause. They will get the 10 lakh coverage that they bought. And this similarly works in almost all property insurance cases where there is no under insurance clause. When you talk about force majeure, well, in terms of such natural calamities, I mean, the policy is meant to cover such natural calamities. So rejection on basis of force majeure due to flash floods, that's not going to happen. So these since these policies are specifically meant to cover such natural disasters, so coverage and claims will not have a problem, will not be a problem.
Okay. And in such cases, how soon can the victims expect for claim settlements after such disasters?
So in general, in home insurance, if I talk about in home insurance, generally a claim generally takes on an average around 30 days to get settled, including 30 days from the date where the insurance company gets to know or is informed that there is a claim. Because the entire process of investigation, survey, etc., that process, and then final settlement, generally takes about 30 days. In such cases where there is a large loss, where there are a large number of losses actually, then the time may increase a little bit. Because we saw this happen earlier in the past years where there was a Kerala landslide. In that case, sir, there was a large number of claims. In Chennai floods, there were a large number of claims. So there, the time may increase by 10 to 15 days. However, there is also something that I'd like to say that most insurance companies set up special help desks to help people who have been aggrieved, who have been affected by these natural calamities. So if people have bought insurance policies from a certain company, they should be on the lookout. They should because most insurance companies, almost all of them, set up special help desks to fast track claims that have to be given to their customers who have been affected by these natural calamities. And if you call up those particular special help desks, then the claim actually gets processed very, very quickly.
Absolutely. In the end, if Ashwini, you could explain to all our viewers, for those who may be now looking at and watching, this interaction, looking at, exploring what all should they be really looking at to adequately cover themselves in case of any sorts of natural calamities, what are the tips that you can give them?
So, first thing is, I'd like to say, I mean, in terms of personal protection, life insurance and health insurance are extremely important for every individual. Apart from that, in terms of the assets a person owns, a person's home and business are two of the most important things for every person. Apart from their themselves and their loved ones, the two most important things for them are their home and their place of business. So it is extremely advisable to take a home insurance policy. In other nations, the home insurance penetration is above 90 to 95%. In India, however, home insurance penetration is very, very poor. So my advice, my suggestion to people would be to buy a home insurance policy. When buying a home insurance policy, do look at the area that they live in, because India is a very unique country. In certain areas, we have places which are extremely prone to earthquakes. Certain areas which are extremely prone to cyclones and hurricanes. So look at the area that you live in, understand the requirements that you may have, and any other what kind of natural calamities that you may be affected by. Understand your assets and your requirements for insurance, and then go ahead and look for the best option for your requirement. Today, there are enough and more resources available on the internet, and technology has made it very easy for people to buy insurance and to look at various options that are available to them. So at least people should go out and look for the options that are available to them. Multiple companies are offering many different kinds of products which may be extremely useful. And another common thought that people have that is that something like home insurance may be extremely expensive. So home insurance is not expensive at all. Home insurance costs less than 300-400 rupees, maybe even less than 300-400 rupees per month. So it's not a very expensive product. Claims are given out very easily. The claim process is very easy. So it's good. It's at least good for the customers to go out and look for the best option for their own usage, for their own purposes.
Thanks a lot, Ashwini, for all those insights on how to protect ourselves against natural calamities. That's as much as we can actually do, to at least do our bit in such cases. Thank you so much, Ashwini. Glad you could share all those insights with our viewers. With that, viewers, we wrap it up on this special edition, but do stay tuned. On the other side, coverage from the world of business and finance continues.
India's economic architects.
Together on one powerful stage. From Nitin Gadkari to Arvind Panagaria and Montek Singh Ahluwalia. Visionaries who are shaping India's future. All debating the Viksit Bharat roadmap, where legacy